Just yeah. How can I debug one bug when there is another bug suddenly? Let me put on some music. I mean, I'm listening to music, but well, there's a DJ, so he talks. I talk, but well, it's different. What is music? The music here is CD music royalty free. I added the history, so there should be a way to. Oh wait, I got this back. What? What? Oh, I lost that one, and now I got it back. Nobody understands it. Oh, I might as well use this then. Yeah. Validation error during VK command rule. Descriptor in binding number 0, index 0 is being used in draw but has never been updated. Right. Strange to get that from Thrapple 1 while that is doing nothing. Let's go up. He should be in a draw call. Submit. So during a submit. Okay, maybe it detects it only when you submit it. Yeah, well, maybe one of the last draw calls, then see if I see anything. Not really. What is going on here? Let's try to find back where I am drawing. Well, that is not here. Well, let's make yet another tab then. Tab to YouTube. See the one source was correct. Tests. Textures. Window.h. And all. I don't know. Double frame. I guess the not updated means a descriptor set. Though we are binding that here, does it print anything? We're not printing anything here. It says so. At VK submit while trying to draw. Descriptor in binding number 0, index 0 is being used. I don't really have a chance, I think, unless I can reproduce this while writing it to a file. Could write it to a file and to the monitor maybe, but yeah, I'm just going to try this and then you'll see that it doesn't happen. But yeah, I don't know what to work on first. Maybe one causes the other, so well, the hanging is kind of I should run it in debugger without breakpoints. Let's see if then hanging happens before the validation error or I get a validation error anyway. See, no validation error now. So yeah, probably a race condition then, and I really think my voice is not sounding as usual. I don't know what happened. Why is my music? I should put this one at 0 maybe. Testing 1, 2. Well, at least I can hear myself now. Yeah, maybe like this. Okay. Guess the music should have been a bit less loud-ish. Don't know what to concentrate on first. How about... Well, this hanging is annoying. So I stop it. No validation error now, and I do info threads. Then we have a thread here in here, trying to pop something that doesn't exist for some reason. That is really weird. Thread 3. Yeah, so it's trying to pop from an empty stack, and it expects that hence there is a node in the queue. So it just expects it to very quickly get something that is non-zero, but it doesn't happen. Why not is the question. Must be a bug. I need full debug output, I suppose, on what is going on here. Yeah, we are inside AI stateful task mute text, so I go up. It's trying to unlock and create access mutex. Maybe I should just add a lot of debug output there. No, that prints enough. And the unlock. Also pretty much. Check resource base, release create lock. And acquire create lock. Acquire create lock. Let's highlight this. that's possible. Not really. It's the same as this one. Sorry, this one. I think so. Could just highlight that. Yep, it is the same one. I'll highlight all of it. Then it's not highlighting this one. That is nasty. But okay, I'll just search further for release create log. I didn't know that was there. Oh, when did you go? It's called release, yeah. Release when we unlock it. So it is created and then released and then released again. Well, that's dangerous. And this is the top. So it's the second release is a problem. Especially since it is the same this pointer again. What are these things that are passed? Task and condition. Okay, it's just as soon as the lock is acquired, I guess it's going to send that task that condition. So we have this task, and that should be waiting now. Well, not very long. We immediately got it. Mutex acquired. Mutex released. And I guess it just continues running. Set state, initialize stuff. Initialize shader resources per set index. I think that's the whole point, that only one factory is allowed to enter this function. So it tries to log it and then it succeeds and therefore it runs it. And then any other factory should not be able to grab it. I'm gonna have a look at this function, which is the one that calls the create log. Okay, and at some point it releases the log. Well, that would mean that another thread could pass this point. So then when exactly is it released? Create log, type. At the end of the function. On the end of handle shader resource creation request. Okay. Release all the logs. So apparently we have a log per shader resource, which are also tasks. Or not, I don't know. Anyway, just before returning to. Seems to make sense. We just keep a log until I leave this function. But what is not understandable is that we are able to call release create log again from the same thread after having released it without first acquiring it, as should have been the case. I mean, if this succeeds, then we called acquire create log on shader resource, and then that shader resource is pushed to acquired required shader resource list. And then we do all kinds of stuff with it. No, we don't. Oh yeah, then we release it. It's a small function. So a possibility would be that this list, acquired required shader resources list, is not empty at the moment we enter this function. For example, if we re-enter this function, and it would still have the same contents in it, then even if we would continue, because every shader resource is already created, and therefore we preferably would do nothing here. We try to redo this, again instantiate it, which is bad, and try to unlock it again. Yeah, that's bad. I think that the moment you return true, this thing must be emptied. However, the reason it is a member function of the class is because we have another return. This return false here. So it just backs off, but keeps things that it already added. So suppose we're running over, what is this? Shader resource plus characteristic. Well, that includes all the shader resources. So we run over all the shader resources, and then we find one that is not created yet. And we get a log, and we add it, planning to create it. But then we go to the next shader resource, and then we find one that is not created yet, but now another thread is creating it. So we back off, return false, and we keep this so that upon re-entry it's still in this list. I'm not sure how that works, however. should definitely not add it twice. So is there a guarantee then that if it is locked, that it will get created, and we will not enter this function again until that is the case, so that we will always continue on that shared resource and therefore never try to add it again. But then we should have not added it in the first place. I mean, we don't want it anymore because it is already created. Let's try reading this comment. Try to be the first to get ownership on each shared resource that has to be created. This is achieved in the following way. M required shared resource plus characteristic list is sorted by unique pointer value of the shared resources, so that every pipeline factory will try to process them in the same order. If, for example, pipeline factory 0 tries to create A, B, C, D, and pipeline factory 1 tries to create B, D, E, then the one that logs B first wins. And if at the same time pipeline factory 2 tries to create C, E, then the winner of B competes with 2 in a race for C and E respectively. I dubbed this a racehorse algorithm because each shared resource plays the role of a finish line. So the horses start running here, and then the one that gets to B first competes then with C or D, and then if one did win, then also with E. And there is only one that can reach the real finish here. And that one is going to create that and that, or if this one did win, it gets to create E, D and B. And after it created that, it releases that mutex. And at that point, one of the other threads is starting to running again. I would say this one is waiting at B because it lost. This one is running, and this one might be waiting at E. So when then B, D and E are created, and then let's say that this one starts running again. Then it runs into C, which is also locked, I guess. Still locked by this one. So this one did win the race of C. I suppose both start running. So this one can run but blocks on C, and this one also starts running. And then creates C and E, and then releases the lock on C. And the lock on E that it now got. No, wait. It started running, but it should not have created E anymore. Don't want to concentrate on the first thread. So, okay, so the C is unlocked. This one started running again. D is already created, so that skips that one. And now it starts creating. But, okay, A is created. It did skip C because it was already created. It did skip D, which was already created, but I'm not sure about B and C. I mean, it did hang on B, so it didn't add that one. And then when it started running again, it only had A in its queue. Yeah. So I think this thread, it logs A and adds it to its queue. Then it tries to get a log on B but fails, so it doesn't add it. But then when it starts running again, it re-enters this function and now B is created. So we would see that, and we still don't add it. And then say we obtain C, the log, so we add it. And then we hang on D, for example. We don't add it. Now we have A and C in the queue. And then maybe we, well, at some point we start running again, but at least A and C are in the queue. We create A and C. So it totally works, except well, now the same object re-enters it again. So it's only when the same thread, or rather task execute pipeline factory re-enters the same, when the same pipeline factory enters the this function from the start. That doesn't work. And I'm pretty sure that is what happens, because, well, I hope so. Let me switch for this. Nobody knows what we're doing. Already had it open. Bing. Let's go to the top of the file, search. This is how we enter it for the first time. And then we search for that again. Yep, that's definitely the problem. So it 81% here on the left, right bottom corner, I mean. And then 99% we entered it again. And that's the problem. Then it doesn't work. Okay, why are we entering it again? I bet that's because of the next fill index, right? Can never find back the print of the fill index. Guess I can just search upwards for a fill index. I have a fill index 1 at 86%. So 84%. Nope. 81% recall it for the first time. Okay, I need a breakpoint. There's only 2 calls to it, so maybe we can set a breakpoint. Run in GDB. TT. Nope, not what I wanted. Which window did I have that in? In this one, in my file. Let's open it again. Okay, that's the first time, and now if I continue, then I hope. Nope. Now we get a validation error. Maybe continue 2 will work. So let's break on main. Run from the beginning. And then I do continue 2. Now, do we have a fill index now? Fill index. Yeah, we have a fill index here, and that's the only one. Really? No fill index 1. What about the debug output here? So that should be the second call, so I want to see a first call as well. That's the end of my scroll buffer. Really? I'm not convinced that we got here twice. Yeah, now we get a validation error again. So annoying. Let's try it again. What happens if we do continue 3? Again, validation error, not helping. Aren't they all still inside that function actually? I just delete all the breakpoints. We run it from the beginning. Oh wait, no, that's not not at all. No, I have to stop here somehow. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Threadpool 1 is now inside this function. It just hangs here. So we can still backtrace it. Info threads, threadpool 1 is here, thread 3. And then I can do up, up, up. Handle. Here we are inside this function. And the question is then, where are we called from? We are called from this file. To look at that. That's what calls us. Why are we being called here? Pretty sure we get it twice. I mean, this is executed after state was set to it, which is only here. So it's executed after, at least after this state. Which follows this state, obviously, as it were. After it's compiled. Yeah, and that follows after this. Wait for preprocess. So after it is preprocessed, and that's just part of being filled. So I think I'll just we are just executing filled for the second time, getting a new fill index. And then we do it again, and we did not reset that vector. That's my guess. Now imagine that we return false, because then we do not want to reset it. So we got here and it returned false. And now we do wait obtained create log. Well, that just re-enters at this point. So there might be a loop between this return and this case. A few times, and then we continue. And well, I might clear the vector because I'm done with it, and after we continue with this state, or I can do it before really entering a state for the first time, which is in here. I don't think I did reset any vector yet, even though I added a load of debug output about the usage of vectors. And this particular one did not have a usage and debug output around it. I don't think so. It would be bad. Means that I did not do a good job while adding that. Where's my handle? Here. So this function is being called. And then this list. Nope. But it is pipeline factory. There's another one here. I mean, I think every vector in the pipeline factory should be well, monitored for access. So these two are kind of suspicious. Let me go from the top and see how many vectors and stuff I have. Oh, I think that I only wrapped the maps so far. Anyway, all of them start with... No, it's not even the case. Well, either vector or vector, something else. Or does that work? Or a set? No, I don't have an own set, so let's just set. Probably standard set then. What did I put it in front of it? Or a map. Yeah, I don't use anything else, I think. Multi-map maybe, multi-something. Multi. And no, you have to escape all these vertical bars. Whoops. See vector, it's vector index, but this one is a vector and it's not wrapped. And again not wrapped. And again not wrapped. And again not wrapped. And again not wrapped. And this one is wrapped, but that's a map. Wrapped and uses detector. And here's another one, there's also a map, and this one is wrapped. That is a standard vector. And this one is not wrapped, it was binding as now. And there's one that is also not wrapped. And even more, well actually that's not, it's just an argument. More arguments, yeah, I don't think we will get any other member variables yet anymore. Maybe I should start at the top, or yeah, doing one at a time is probably smart, because otherwise I'll just get a billion compile errors at once, which would be annoying. And on the other hand, how often is characteristic container accessed? Let's not wrap the ones that we don't need to wrap. Characteristics. Push back from add characteristic. Well, that's definitely not here. Yeah, they don't need to wrap that. It's just called once for each characteristic. It's not part of the factory itself, but of the initialization of the factory before I run it. Then the next one. The next one is a range shift. Oh, that's a good one. Where is that being used? Range shift being passed here as an argument. Update. I'm afraid that this is updating it. Resize. Pipeline factory initialized. It's also just run once, I think. Shift. And then it is updated when characteristic range filled is called. Well, that happens often, but maybe that's then exactly what you do want. Well, it seems to be very knowledgeable about the characteristic range index. Wait a minute. Yeah, well, I don't think wrapping is necessary at this point. Preferred descriptor sets. Yeah, there's another one that I don't think needs to be wrapped. Just not going to do that. Characteristic list container type. Oh wait, that's a lot longer than what I just read. It's this thing. That's the one. No, it's not. Required shader resource plus characteristic list. Close, but not quite. Read lock, write lock. Sort required shader resources list. It's empty. Just empty. It's just sorting it. More interested in adding stuff. There's another right log. Then place back. Here we add stuff to it. Happens in register shader resource. Yeah. I think that must be, these things just simply must be called only from the initialization stage of state. I mean, my characteristics. Should add an assert for that, I think, but I'm not even 100% sure if it is correct. what I just said. Vertex shader resource. Worse, I have no idea how to add the cert. I would need a thread save, a member variable in the factory pipeline, the pipeline factory I mean, that tells me that it already advanced to past the initialization state. I'll look here. Multiplex. If I typed it right. Multiplex. Start initialize, initialized. Characteristic initialized. So we must have passed this. We must have reached this point, I think. Characteristics initialized. Once we get here, we are no longer allowed to call that function. Look at range counters maybe. in range counters, dirty reuse abuse of variable, but it's like the only variable that, or I can add a new variable, of course. Maybe just a debug variable. Let's see what this initialize is doing precisely. Multi-loop initialize. Yeah, it sets the size of M counters, so maybe that's what I could look at. If we can get the size of M counters. Here's one size in a loop. Just compares it with something. No, I don't think I really have an access over that. Doesn't seem so. Nah. Yeah, I could add a debug variable here, I guess. Reach initialization. I'm gonna do it. Just debug. Right, so we have to add this one to let's add it here. And then default constructor, I guess. I don't know, reusing, maybe we are reusing it, right? Maybe we should add it elsewhere. Anyway, it's just debug if def cw debug, and we add it. Oh no, twice reached. And I typed something wrong. What is it called? Oh yeah, that's why. That is why. This is on the exact. Go here, so the reach is indeed should not have been twice. So the true on that state is reached. Okay. And I want to initialize it to false, just in case this task is restarted, if at all possible. Well, I do have an, oh no, I don't. Wait, where's my fruitful functions? Sync state, multiple X, we don't have an initialize here. I could just add it to this start state maybe. It's never used. Cannot think of a good reason. But then again, maybe it is. I don't want to add an initialize virtual function. I would even recreate a pipeline cache. Oh, it's so unlikely, right? But okay, I could add it to pipeline factory initialize. Why not? Whoops. Something. Do we still have it here? Debug. There it is. So let's just set this thing here to false. And that is also debug code then. And then I want to add an assert. But this is not set. And what was it? And call to add something, right? I totally forgot what why I've been adding it. There was a function, and then if that was called, then I was saying blah blah blah. Okay, let's just write everything and then go back to, I think, pipeline. Let's go back to this was the one. shader resource. Yep. Well, and that means then that we don't need to wrap this one. That one, this one, right? And this one did need wrapping, and then there's the last one. So I wanted to wrap this one, let's add it, or shall I first look at that one? Now we know that this is the last one that I needed to add. Not clear. Let me just edit this file and then search for all of them. Initialize shader resources per set index. Called from pipeline factory initialize shader resources per set index. Really? So how often is that called? So that was read access, right? What happened? This one. Since unlock set layout binding. It seems unlikely I would ever write code that adds something to it in two different places. So I guess everything else is retexted. But you never know. For example, set index of frame resource pairs and place back, but what is it? God, this thing is used at so many places. Well, I'm gonna go for that. This is the only place where things is added. Things are added. Besides, how would I add anything in differently than by calling pushback on it? or in place back. Haha. It's not gonna happen. And I can't type. So, yeah. Only place, and this is being called from initialize blah blah, and that is being called from here, which is ooh. Yeah, that happens for each fill index. So might be used, might need to be reset as well then, before we reuse it. I'm not sure. Well, definitely also want to wrap it then with the usage stuff. These two. This is, however, a vector of vectors. Maybe that's why. No idea. No matching function will call to debug usage detector standard vector. You cannot do okay. Right. These things need a name. And well, the name that they have. So we know what we're talking about. There was no default constructor because we had to pass a name. More errors, more errors. What is the error this time? Expected identifier before string constant. It thinks that it's a function. Confused. I mean, my first thought, it thinks it is a function, but oh no, also using braces here. So that's why they invented the braces. Sometimes a compiler thinks that you're for declaring a function because it looks like that. It's just a function. Thinks that this is a function, returning this. Stupid compiler. So then you have to use the braces. Or you can say I'm always using braces whenever I pass something to a constructor. That works too. So it's called an initialize list at that point, but well, the effect is the same thing. Well, it's not exactly the same thing, but I don't know. Let's not think about it, you know. Let's keep life simple. If you're a beginner C++ coder, it's the same thing. Just use braces. What shall we do next? It compiles. Whoa, that was easy. Well, let's wrap this other one then as well. I have to go eat though, so I'm afraid this was it until I return. It still didn't fix any bug. Oh, let's not wait for the compile error. Dollar, braces, quotes, and the name. Now, let's hope it compiles. It doesn't compile. Of course it doesn't compile. I want to go eat. Error, no match for operator square brackets. Operand types are debug uses detector and set index. Node candidate, const expression debug uses detector utils vector, blah blah blah, with T is standard vector, vulkan, blah blah blah, index, blah blah blah, elk, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Size type, really? 625. Candidate uses detector utils vector. And now we are having an operator with Texas size type. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Nope. Doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna look at it. This file here. Yeah, this is specialization for utils vector. I think I just copied all the code from standard vector, which was a lot of work, and then made not enough changes. As in, the big difference between vector and vector with a capital V and the standard vector is not that. We have these and we changed these. So both at and operator square brackets are using index type, not size type. Suppose I have index type. And I'm back here. Do I have an IBegin? Detector. I do have an IBegin. I also have an add with index type, and I just have them. Here they are. What file is this? Array. Yeah, I did it for array, but I did not do it for vector, I guess. Now are we? Should have skipped it differently. Still array. Skip array. IBegin. Array. So we don't have IBegin either. I guess I have to copy this from array. Can't be that different. The idea looks suspiciously the same as. Now I'm gonna copy it. Can I copy it or not? Yes, of course I can copy it. Okay, let's copy this. I begin, I end. That's everything. Copy. And then that ended with a base class, and then we get a vector below here, I guess. Vectoring base class is at the bottom, and we just put it right in front of there. So now, it just passes it to the base class. So yeah, it can only go right. But then I have to remove the adds. Do we even have those? Add, clear, shrink, reserve, size. Lots of ends and begins. No more, and data, and back, and front. Oops, I see something. Yep, there we go. Add, no that, no this, no nothing. Index type is not being declared. Seriously. Index type. Let's steal index type from my array. Or shall I just... yeah, like that. Why not? So that is an public is something... yep. Why does this need a type name and the other ones do not? There's no type name here. Yeah. Does DBase even have an index type? Yeah, of course it does. That's what I should have copied. Tracy. We have an index type. I immediately believe that a type name needs to be here because it's it depends on. It's a type that depends on the template parameter. In the end, it's going to be this. And then the compiler cannot figure out that it is a type on its own. At least it can't know at the moment that it needs to know. But then all these things work. As your value type is not depending on the on a template parameter, of course it is. And so on. So yeah. Going to try what happens if I remove this type name, just because I'm curious now. Apparently it works, or I don't know. Maybe there's a difference with the array. Arrays are special in a way. But at least now I don't look silly. That I have no type name anywhere except that one line, and then it looks weird. It looked really weird. Okay, this compiled, so now we can go eat. That's great. Let's run it again though. Excuse me. What just happened? Still no eating. Session get Vika header version. What? Sounds like a library mismatch between headers and whatever's running or loading. That's no good. But I did run it before, during this stream. So I suppose the reason is I just recompiled something that I had not recompiled before. Yep. That's not good. Well, let's try brute force recompiling everything and then hoping that it goes away. You know, like closing the closet and then pretending that now the monster is gone, or maybe you just think that it is not able to open the door. Yeah. What shall we do? Normally you would say make maintainer clean, but that's an auto tools thing, right? Fortunately I did implement it. Not sure what I did though. Which make? My maintainer clean, if build ninja exists, just runs make main, the maintainer clean apparently exists. That's really weird. Anyway, resource configure. No bigger cannons. My AI routine. It's even greeting me when I run it. See? How are you today? Thank you. Happy New Year to you too. Ah, it's doing stuff. Whoa. Apparently it was so hard. No, it was severely needed, urgently needed. Now everything is green. Okay, that's good. And then we run configure. And then we recompile everything. Oh, it's mostly cached. Like, no, it's not 100% fast. I think it did actually recompile something. So cross fingers. No, what is this? No, but not headers stuff. Something else. Debug reads characteristic initialize fields. Our new assert is fair. Okay, I think I just have to go eat. Otherwise, I'm being cruel to myself. I'm going to read the chat though. I was looking at the top chat, which has been empty all this time, so I could. Jarek, hey, Beast Kisser, hi bro. Matt Gupa, what the fuck to you too? Are you American? No, I'm from Mars. I cannot read that vertical text. Hey, Bear and LGL and everyone, some guy as well. Sky Bear. We have imposter looking through the clouds. Just kidding. Why are you using that and not VS or VS Code? Why are ninjas using ninja stars? Bear answered it much friendlier than I did. You still forget the semicolon sometimes. I wouldn't call it forget. I think most of the time I type a colon instead of a semicolon. Is Linux more comfortable than PowerShell? What the hell is PowerShell? Dude, I wouldn't know. I've been smart from birth, so I never use Windows. I only use Linux. Have a nice stream. Hizia, hello. Could you please tell what Arch Linux do you using? What Arch Linux do you use? Is it Fluxbox with the green tea theme? Yes, I'm using Fluxbox, but I'm not sure about the theme. Choose a style, Daniel. Green tea. Yeah, you're right. Didn't even know that I wasn't called. So exactly right. Well, hopefully I answered this in time before people left. Probably not. Yeah, Bunny would say go eat. She's not here? Surprising. Tech Ian Nil, hi, you like Linux all dist? Yes. Tries to smile friendly while I pretend I understand what you mean. But I like Linux over anything else, definitely. So some distributions, which Linux is best, doesn't really matter. There are some subtle differences depending on how much time you have, how smart you are, and if you like. Let's see. What I want? I know what I want to say, but I don't know how to say it. How legally how legally pedantic you are, probably. I used Debian for a while, but these guys are like, if it isn't open source, like 100%, and then they don't want to use it, and it's probably a good thing. But it sucked for a while because I really wanted to use closed source NVIDIA drivers, and now I don't anymore. By the way, it seems that the other brand is better for Linux. Certainly in terms of support. Sure. Do you have $1 million? I'll give you my bank account. I'm going to eat. I'll be back after you. Give you some time to up the money. I just cannot find the words really.